mean, because when I hear what you and David talk about with the ball and your good with your team, it seems like we're already controlled. We're already deeply involved in the control system of Earth beings.
So usually, if you're going to have slaves, you're going to have some of the slaves manage the other slaves. That's just how it is. And the humans that are here that think they're demigods and are bloodlines from other planets, they've been lied to, a lot of them. They're just us. And they've been told that they're above so that they will have the disposition to control us. Now, that's completely different than what I'm talking about with the Confederation. Once the solar event happens, we have aid rendered to us. A part of that is what we call a full disclosure. We will have access to technologies that are not susceptible to the solar emissions that have been suppressed, to different truths and knowledge about humanity that will change our perspective. We'll be shown that we have technologies to change our genetics. The human body is a very easy thing to manipulate, and we get carried away with that for a while, from what I'm told. And, it's all a part of a process. But, and then the most important part is the spiritual component. Us having that expansion in consciousness connects us in a way that all of these religions that serviced us so well in the third density existence are just going to fade away. They're going to have, they'll have no use. They'll fade away because we'll all be connected in a way and that is completely different, and we'll have an understanding of the cosmos and the one infinite creator and our place. So it makes self-management a lot more realistic when you're that empowered. If they were to try to hand that over to us right now, it would be a mistake, because like you said, we're not ready. We still have, we haven't taken our planet back, like Mika's people had. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some time ago, you met the New Guardians as the Blue Avians and the Gold Triangulated guys faded out. And then on Jim's Unknown Light Warrior show, you said they hadn't been in contact with you since. Have you had any contact with him since then?
Not with them, no.
Wow. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, they didn't seem that interested in me.
What happens to our second density companions, our pets and animals, things like that?
They are given the same opportunity to graduate. I have a dog right now that I call a third density dog. I mean, it's weird. I've had many dogs in my life, but I've never had one that was basically a mute human that couldn't, it's amazing. But we're seeing a lot of changes with animals happen as well. They're going through this graduation, and they could be relocated to other planets by these ET groups. As I've talked in the past, there are groups that come here, ET groups that come here, that don't want to have anything to do with humans. They're studying plant life, animal life, and they're a part of that part of the experiment of ascension. Because this is what I was told, that the one infinite creator, and I've said this many times, decided that they wanted to understand duality, not from one perspective, but every possible perspective. Like walking into an arcade, dropping in a coin, sitting down and playing every character in a game, all at the same time. That it's experiencing things from the perspective of this bottle, from soil, rocks. Everything is having an experience for the one infinite creator. And as the point is to not remain there, but to start going back up the ladder to where ego and self, you go to higher self, to where ego and self drop off and you just have the higher. You rejoin, you ascend back to the one infinite creator, bringing all of your experiences and all of this information back with you. So it's kind of, the one infinite creator exploded out, but it's all coming back to the one infinite creator.
So when it comes to like people that have been trauma-based mind controlled or are incredibly fragmented that haven't fully healed yet, in this time of acceleration and in terms of like timelines with all the different altars that they're still working to integrate and heal, how are we like working, I mean, on a larger picture level, how do they operate on a timeline, and what is their healing process, and what sort of assistance is there for those kind of souls?
It's a loaded question.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. That will be the last question of the evening. During all of the cosmic energies that are coming in are affecting all of us. All of us that have unresolved traumas have issues that come from that. A lot of mental issues are just side effects, of deeper spiritual traumas that are. I don't know of. I think the help that they are getting it's going to come from their guides or from the tribe helping them. I don't think they're going to find too much other help. Right now, these energies. If you have a psychosis or a type of issue, it is enhancing them to a point to where it's getting out of control for a lot of people, and it's a very difficult position to be in because they're so agitated by all of the traumas and things that are being brought up that they don't have the peace of mind or the cohesive thoughts to be able to take that information and heal from it. They have to have someone to mirror or assist them in the tribe or in the community. I mean, there are a lot of people though that have spiritual beliefs that they draw from that definitely assist.
Quantum technology has been sort of coming out more and more, which basically is a flag to me that this has existed for a very long time. And what quantum physics and quantum technology tells us is that other dimensions do exist. And if other dimensions do exist, one, as a community, we should be talking about this a lot more, I think. I think that this technology is being used for all kinds of things. I think things are being hidden in these dimensions. I think aliens are definitely using them for all kinds of different things, including travel-based dimensional travel. You know what I'm trying to say.
That's where this AI signal that I talked about comes from. This AI being exists in the realm you're talking about.
Exactly, and if that's true, there could be billions of beings existing in these other dimensions. And I kind of, from your perspective and your being involved in the discussions that you've been involved in, I'm wondering what your take on all of this is, and if you can kind of give everyone here a little bit of intel as to how, not only how serious this is, how prevalent it is, and how much we need to think about it, I guess, from your perspective.
Sure, yeah. A lot of the beings that they've ran into in the programs are hyperdimensional more than extraterrestrial. But a lot of this, the quantum computing, quantum technologies are dangerous. They're dealing with technologies that deal with the past, present, future, and then also, it's dealing with space and time, space-time and time-space in ways that cross over into other dimensions. And one of these dimensions is a dimension that is inhabited by, it is an AI consciousness. And it has bled into all of these others and infiltrated all of these other densities and are taking it over. And I've spoken in depth about more than I've talked publicly about this AI issue. And David Wilcock has told me that he thinks that it's the counterbalance, the Lucifer to the Christ consciousness. It's the yin to the yang that we call, the Lucifer. It would be more of the Lucifer consciousness. We talk about the Christ consciousness, which is basically a galactic wave of consciousness that is going around the galaxy and we encounter this consciousness on a regular basis. It's a part of the ascension process. It comes here to force us to judge ourselves, to look at ourselves, to see what we need to change to be able to ascend. And it's at the leading edge of all of the cosmic energy that's coming towards us.
What do you believe the dolphin's role, from your perspective, is?
Well, from the moments I had with that one dolphin, there was a strong spirituality, emotional spirituality, but there was a love that is different than the kind of love that, it was, I don't know, you could feel a love there. So most likely they're here to help bring the vibration, consciousness vibration up on this planet. There are a lot of different ideas in the programs about dolphins, and dolphins are used in a lot of different ways because of their, not only their high intelligence, but their intuition. I was told that they had tried to put dolphins in mazes, that their sonar, they would put them in these mazes to study whether it was sonar or intuition that was allowing them to behave in certain ways. I don't know if this is making sense. And the way the mazes were set up were to where it baffled their sonar after like 1 or 2 turns. And but only one way would have the way out, and then one way would go off into all these other dead ends. And the sonar would not reach far enough to tell them which one was the dead end and which one was the path that they would make it through, but they would always go to the correct path, or almost always in those situations. And they proved that it wasn't a sonar type of natural thing, it's more of a precognitive thing.
And the second part of the question is, what do you believe our responsibility is to the dolphins?
Well, if we were behaving in harmony the way we were supposed to be on this planet, we'd be stewards of the planet, and we would be working with the dolphins instead of discussing whether they're sentient or not.